Hello YouTube, this is MM53 coming at you again, and this is my standard manufacturing single action revolver I just got. I wasn't really impressed. The action was a little, it's a little loose there. It wasn't what I was expecting anyway for going on $2,000. But, it's a single action. I guess it'll work if you just kind of do it manually. Now, this is actually my Craftsman Frontier model. I actually received this for my 5th birthday or 6th birthday. It's a BB gun. So as you can see, I've always liked single actions. It's kind of cool as a BB gun. Actually, if you've never seen one of these, you drop your BBs right in there where the ejector would be, and it actually goes right here. The cylinder rotates and it's 6 shots, 18 if I remember right when you fill this up. CO2 cartridge goes in here. It has a mainspring in it very similar to a real single action, and that is broke, and one day I'll get around to fixing that. But anyway, as you can see, I've liked single actions for a long time. This is my standard. I like the nickel plated. When I got this, well, let me back up a little bit about why I got this and why I'm a big fan of the single actions. I grew up watching the cowboy movies with my dad, Rifleman and Maverick and Bonanza and Big Valley and keep on going, all the rest of them. And then, for my generation, when I got older, of course, Young Guns and American Outlaws and Silverado, which that's one reason, Silverado, if you've seen that movie. Sorry, I have a cold. I really like the nickel-plated ones. I like the Hollywood cowboy stuff. I mean, they were still out there. The cowboys did have the nickel-plated back in the day. They probably weren't as common as just your regular blued or models, but this is what I like. I really wanted a Colt. I had looked for a long time for one. I mean, years. I really liked the Long Branch edition, which I think this looks very, very similar to the Colt Long Branch that they had put out through Tylo. But anyway, I couldn't find a Colt. Nobody around had one, couldn't order one through Colt. I found one, the Last Cowboy, and they were asking $2,200 for that thing, or $2,300, and it had fallen off the shelf. It had actual nicks in the metal, not just the bluing on it. You could feel it was nicks in it. And for whatever reason, Colt shipped it out and didn't even have the screw in the bottom of it, sitting on the dealer's shelf. I didn't want that, and I wanted nickel plated. And of course, the 4 3/4 inch barrel, because hey, that's what all gunfighters have, right? At least on TV. I've seen Quick and Dead a bunch of times with Cheryl Stone, and I think every one of them had these. So I gave up on the Colt, because I sure wasn't going to buy that damaged one for $2,200. And I ran across Hickok's video, and he was doing one on this. And he's a single action guy, Hickok 45, the YouTuber. And he seemed pretty impressed with it. I mean, I don't think there's a gun the man doesn't really like, except for maybe the Ruger SP101, which I like a lot. But most of the time he talks very highly of all firearms. But if you kind of read between the lines, I think he really liked this one. And when he made the comment, it's not a Colt, but I'm paraphrasing and probably butchering it, but he says something like, it's just as good as a Colt, maybe better, or probably better, or something in those lines. That's when I started paying a little more attention, doing a little more research. And there's a couple other, I don't remember the gentleman's name, there's another great video of the guy taking it all apart, which I am not going to do because I don't have balls to take this thing apart after I just paid this much money for it. But he has a great video. And then after watching his and a few others and reading up on forums, I decided I was going to get one. And what was also the clincher for me is I had read and heard that some of the people from Colt were actually making these. And that other company that made them before Standard was American Manufacturing, or the other company made the single actions that were a little pricey and supposed to be really good quality. Never shot one, never even touched one. But I'd heard rumors that they took some of their employees in some Colts that were manufacturing these. And I called Standard and asked them about that, and they didn't confirm it, but they wouldn't deny it either. So I thought, well, you know, they weren't there, why wouldn't they just say no? But then I saw a segment on American Rifleman where they actually said that they have former Colt employees putting these together, and from the other company, the other people that made these, I just don't remember the name, I'm sorry. And that was kind of the clincher for me. I mean, if the same people are putting them together, and it's not cast, it's machined, and that's a big plus for me because I am an ex-machinist. I retired from machining, I did it for years, and I have extensive background, use whatever knowledge in the 4140, 4150s material. And it's really a good material. It's great for a gun. They use it in axles on cars. They use it for numerous things. And when I found out that this was completely machined, made in America, by the same people that were making the Colts, because like I said, that's what I wanted, but just couldn't get one, I purchased one of these. And I was going to get one of the first runs, and when I called them up a Standard, the lady was really nice I was talking to. And I asked if they had any plans on making nickel ones. She had told me, as far as she knew, they didn't, but I had mentioned I just liked the way they looked, you know. And she said, yeah. She goes, I do too. She goes, we have one floating around the back shop back here, and they really do look nice. As soon as she said that, I knew they were going to be making them. Because obviously, if they have one floating around the back shop, probably a T&E gun or something, they're going to be making them. So I went ahead and waited until I saw the nickel plated hit the website. And I'm glad I did, because I really like the nickel. And just like everybody else has said, the fit and finish on was great. I do like the blue screws. Some of the old original Colts that were nickel plated did have blue screws in them and a blue trigger. So it's not something that the newer Long Branch Colt came up with, or these people. It does trace back there in history. On some of the other videos I'd watched, some people had mentioned about the over travel. That is gone on this one. There is no over travel. That's just a little light coat of oil that's on there. But these don't do that. So I guess Standard's listening to people and changing a few things around. Also, as you can see here, they're a little proud, but just barely. Everything else is really lined up nice. If anything, the grip probably could be just a tiny bit bigger right there. You could, I don't know if you can see it, but you can feel it, but just barely. And of course, all the screws are indexed, except for the one in the grip, which I understand because they probably vary in size, but it's pretty close. The other thing I've heard some people mention is the way the trigger was cut out on these. I have seen a Colt Cavalry model, an original Colt Cavalry. It was a black powder gun, and it was cut out really similar to this. It wasn't straight across. It was very, very similar to that. So I think this is more taken off of the black powdered Colts. And don't get scared, because I promise you, I cannot shoot you through your computer screen. Plus, it's not loaded. But there's a different view that I notice most people don't do, because I guess they don't like pointing cameras at their gun. I mean, pointing guns at their camera. Sorry about that. That cold medicine's kicking in again. But it is a beautiful revolver. And I know that a lot of people will probably buy these and they'll end up as safe queens. This won't be a safe queen. I guess the queen part will be accurate, but not the safe part. It will be. I'll take it out to the range and I'll shoot it. Not a lot, but it will be shot. But it will also be babied. You know, I wipe it down every time after I handle it. It's not ever just going to sit on a piece of wood or a tabletop or anything. I'm really anal about scratches and keeping it looking nice. But it will be shot. But I am very happy with the standard manufacturing. I'm really glad that they stayed really close to what Colt manufactured back in the day, and I guess the present ones too. I don't have a lot of experience. I don't have any experience with the newer Colts. I have shot some of the first generation Colts, and I actually owned one years ago. But that's another story. In college, needed money, had to sell it. But it's very, very similar from what I remember. Might be a little tighter on the hammer, but trigger's better on this than the Colt was. But it's very, very similar. Everything's really nice and tight. I like the way they put the serial numbers on everything. Even up, you know, they got it printed on the cylinder in there, so you can see the little numbers whizzing by. But everything lines up nice and tight. There's absolutely no play any direction. When it's locked up, it's locked up. The firing pin fits really nice in there. Doesn't look to me like it's been redone or anything. I think I'd be able to tell with my years of machining, but maybe not. But it lines up really nice, and you take the cylinder out and do it. It's dead on right in the center of the hole. When I got it, I didn't get the little checklist that some of the other people had from as it goes through the assembly line being checked off on the different procedures. This is what came on the trigger guard here. We have some things about read your owner's manual and all guns are loaded and so on, things you already know. But I got that. And hey, I'm cool with that. I don't know if you can tell here, but when they regulated it, I don't see any cocking on the barrel at all. It looks straight up and down, lined up to me. I haven't fired it yet. We'll see how that goes here probably next week. Got my receipt from where I purchased it. We did get this. Gentleman signed off on here with his initials on the date, with the serial number, that everything was up to specs and everybody was happy. The other card that says that when it left the shop, everything was perfect. Registered for your warranty, because this one still has the lifetime warranty because it's one of the newer ones. And the owner's manual. And I will agree on the owner's manual about the says something about it's calling this first click here safety. That's a new one on me. Never heard that before. And I've had a lot of other single actions. I've had a Ruger Vigero, which I know is completely different, has crossbar safety and all that stuff in it. That was nice. It was also a stainless gun. I've had a one of the tourists made one for a while. Had one of those for a period of time. It was okay. I ended up selling them all off. But like I said, I did have an original Colt. I believe the date on that thing was 1911 when I had it. I had it for a couple years, and I've always been reading up and doing research on these things when I can, and I've never heard anything about this being a safety. So I'm just going to keep loading it the way I've always loaded it, completely. And then after you put 5 of them in there, 1 skip, 4. Pull back here, do that all the way back, then drop the hammer, and leave it on an empty. I'm not doing that half-cock safety. Maybe that's what it's for, but it's new to me. and I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing. But I just wanted to show you, I haven't seen any YouTube videos on the nickel ones, so I just want to throw it out there so y'all can see it. And it's pretty, and that's one reason I got it. I wanted a pretty gun. You know, when I was in my 20s or 30s, I had a bunch of guns. You know, I had a big safe full of them. Then they kind of migrated into the closet and hanging on the wall. But most of them, you know, and mobs. Nothing wrong with these, but I'm gonna say, you know, I had a Mossberg 500 shotgun. I had the Ruger model, things like that, and I kind of sold off those, and you know, sold my Mossberg, which was a great shotgun, nothing wrong with it, but I sold it and I got a Benelli. I've been trying to just kind of move up. I'm getting out of the Ford and Chevy guns and getting into the Mercedes and BMW guns. I don't have as many of them because I can't afford to buy, you know, 5 of these things. But I'm going for the quality. That's what I want. I feel they're an investment. Hopefully Standard does great, keeps manufacturing these things, but if they go out of business tomorrow, I think I'll probably have done very well by purchasing one. And even if they do keep on going, which I hope they do, the prices will just keep going up eventually. And, you know, if I don't ever plan on selling it, this will be handed down to the kids and so on, but I'm not going to lose any money on it, and that's kind of what I try to do. But that's my philosophy in buying guns now. I try to stay a little on the higher end. And I like things that are done right. And I don't see any flaws on this. Except, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. You know, nothing's perfect. Right here on the side of the strap. So you can feel it with your nails. Just a little rough right in there. Just a little bit. But it doesn't bother me enough to worry about trying to send it in and get another one. But that's the only thing I can see. You know, we don't have any rub marks. Nice and even. I'm very happy with it. If you're a single action fan, I think this is really the way to go. I actually like this better than the Colts that I've handled and looked at when I was trying to purchase one. So when I said I couldn't find a Colt, I found some that had the longer barrels on them. I found them in 357. Excuse me, cold kicking in again. I just couldn't find the one I wanted. And this is what I wanted. I could have given up the nickel plating if I would have found the one I want, you know, everything else, but it didn't happen. And I'm glad it didn't. Everything happens for a reason, because I really like this. And just because it doesn't have the horse on, and I am a Colt fan. I have a Python. My first handgun was a King Cobra. I have, you know, Colt 1911s. The only 1911s I've ever owned, they've all been Colts, now that I think of it. But, you know, it's Colt's design. It's put together by Colt people. It's not a whole lot different, except I think it's a lot better quality than the Colts. At least Colts that I've handled and had the experience of shooting. It doesn't have the history of one that's 120 or 130 years old, but that's okay. If I run across a first generation or a black powdered Colt at a good price, I might pick that up. But I just wanted one single action. Don't plan on buying another one. This will be it. Like I said, unless I find an old black powder one at a reasonable price. This is my baby. I'm very happy with the purchase. Thank you, Standard, for giving us another option. And a nice option. And those are the reasons that I purchased this instead of buying 3 imports and a crap load of ammo, which I've seen that comment on a lot of other people's videos. Yeah, I could have done that same thing, but that wasn't my goal. I want something that was just, I want the best, and I believe this is the best that I'm able to find and get. And one of the imports are great if you're going to go shoot them. If I was going to take this out all the time, go shooting or hog hunting or something, yeah, one of the other ones, I would have stuck with my Ruger. But that's not what this is for. It has a nice display case. It hangs on my wall, and it's something I can be proud of and hand down to the kids. And this is, I wanted high quality machined, not cast firearm. Nothing's wrong with the cast ones. You know, I carry a SP-101 Ruger every day. That's a cast firearm. Nothing wrong with them. They're going to work. But that's not what I wanted in my single action. Because I am a single action fan, and this was the firearm that I wanted to spend my money on. But thank you for watching the video. If you do have $2,000 laying around and you just want to go buy another gun, or actually I paid $1,995 plus $40 shipping and handling and a $20 transfer fee. That's what I'm in it for. So if you have whatever that is, $2,100 laying around, and you want to buy a new firearm, and you like single actions, I think you will be very happy with this one. Well, thank you all for listening to me ramble on about my new single action, and after I shoot it, I'll let you know how accurate it was. Thank you all. As always, God bless, happy shooting and safe shooting. Hey, and think about happy shooting. We want to be able to keep on happily shooting. There's a lot of crazy crap going on right now. I'm a little older. I remember when the first assault weapons ban went through with Clinton. And I was living in California at the time. That was a pain in the butt. We're getting back to that point again where all that stuff's coming up. And it seems like even if it's not through the federal government, a lot of states are bringing it up. Personally, I'm a big fan of Gun Owners of America. I've been with them for about 2.5 years now. But pick you somebody. Pick you some company that's out there to help keep our rights and give them some money. If you can afford to buy a gun, you can afford to kick them down some money. I give them money all the time. It might not be a lot, you know. If I have a bad week at work, hey, maybe I'll give them $5. If I have a good week at work, yeah, you know, maybe I'll shoot them off 50. Just give them some money. If you can't afford money, get on the phone, send emails, send letters, do something. But if you're into guns, you know, help yourself, help us fight for our rights. Join some organization out there and do what you can. You know, it doesn't always have to be money. Trust me, I have sent lots of emails. I actually had my congressman come by my house about 6 weeks or 2 months ago. I was out mowing the yard, and he came by. Actually, I didn't even know who he was. You know, I just knew the name, didn't know the face. Gave me his card. I'm like, you know, I'm dirty. I'm out mowing. And I was like, why in the hell is this guy here? And he said, I've been getting a whole lot of emails from you, son, about our firearms rights, and I just want to let you know that I'm here for you, and you know, pro Second Amendment, and keep voting for me, and all that politician crap. And then he pulled his shirt up, and he actually had a Smith & Wesson air light on him. And he's like, I carry a gun everywhere I go. He's like, my daddy fought in World War II. He fought for our rights. He carries, and his dad was with them. They were going out to lunch or doing something. He was an older gentleman. He stayed in the truck. They were out driving a pickup. I live in Mississippi. We all drive pickups and four-wheel drives, right? So, but it made a difference. He came by my house to talk to me about that and assured me that, you know, he knows his constituents, my Colt kicking in again, sorry, are definitely pro-gun here in Mississippi. And he will, and from what he says, he is too. So he's going to keep voting for our rights, which made me really happy. I was really surprised he came by. So yes, your emails do make a difference. But man, I was sending them, you know, every other day. I was Gun Owners of America, getting on their website, sending out those emails. Sometimes I reword them a little bit. Sometimes I just send them out the way they are. But they do pay attention. Personally, I really didn't think they did, but at least this guy did. But anyway, back to the topic. I love my standard single action 45 here. I'm glad they didn't clutter it all up with a bunch of BS all over it. We just got standard on the top. 45, a couple of patent numbers. Is this really a pretty firearm? And I need to shut up now because I'll keep talking about this thing for an hour. So y'all have a great rest of your day. And again, happy shooting, safe shooting, and God bless.